Welcome back to History Unveiled. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jordan. Today, we're discussing the 1982 Israeli invasion of Lebanon and its implications for U.S. foreign policy. It's a pivotal moment in history.
The Israeli invasion of Lebanon in June 1982 was a significant event in the history of Israel, Palestine, and the Middle East. However, it didn't have a lasting impact on American policy.
Exactly. A year before the invasion, the U.S. was trying to stabilize the Israeli-Lebanese border, which had been tense since the PLO moved to southern Lebanon in 1970. The mission was led by diplomat Philip Habib, but he ultimately failed to prevent the invasion. Initially, U.S. interest in the crisis was military. Israel shared captured Soviet weapons with Washington, which pleased AIPAC. Morton Silberman, AIPAC's president, praised President Reagan for supporting Israel during the crisis.
Silberman wrote to Reagan, expressing pride in his administration's stance against terrorism and support for Israel. This set the stage for continued U.S. backing of Israeli operations.
The invasion was justified by an assassination attempt on Israeli ambassador Shlomo Argov, although there was no direct link to the PLO. Ariel Sharon misled Prime Minister Menachem Begin about the invasion's scope, aiming for a broader occupation.
Sharon's plan involved installing a pro-Israel Maronite president in Lebanon, which raised concerns about the long-term implications of such actions. The lobby and the president seemed aligned initially.
In August 1982, American Marines joined a multinational peacekeeping force in Lebanon. However, the Israeli military presence led to resistance from Hezbollah, complicating the situation.
The presence of U.S. troops became contentious, especially after a suicide bomber attacked the American headquarters, killing 241 soldiers. This tragedy didn't immediately convince Reagan to withdraw.
AIPAC insisted on maintaining U.S. forces in Lebanon, but public sentiment shifted against the prolonged military presence. As casualties rose, Congress demanded a complete withdrawal.
By 1984, Reagan caved into this pressure and ordered the withdrawal of American forces. The high number of American deaths made it impossible for Congress to ignore. It was a turning point.
The American blunder in Lebanon gave Arabists in the State Department and CIA a chance to voice their concerns about supporting Israeli actions. They had the ear of James Baker, Reagan's chief of staff.
This led AIPAC to target Baker as a potential problem. They even suggested hosting social events to strengthen ties with him. Interesting strategy.
During Reagan's presidency, tensions arose between AIPAC and certain administration officials, like Vice President George H.W. Bush and Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger.
Despite these tensions, AIPAC continued to see Reagan as a friend, especially due to his anti-Soviet stance and support for Israel. Reagan established a joint political military group focused on perceived Soviet threats.
AIPAC faced challenges with the Jewish electorate concerning Israel's alliance with apartheid South Africa. They tried to downplay this relationship, arguing geopolitical interest often conflicted with moral imperatives.
However, Israel was one of South Africa's closest military allies, which complicated AIPAC's narrative. This illustrates the moral complexities in U.S.-Israel relations.
In 1984, the FBI investigated AIPAC for espionage, particularly regarding stolen documents from the State Department. This scandal highlighted concerns about dual loyalty among American Jews.
Jonathan Pollard, a Navy intelligence analyst, was caught spying for Israel, which reignited the debate over loyalty. AIPAC distanced themselves from Pollard as they found him unreliable.
Towards the end of the Reagan era, AIPAC underwent significant changes, with more hawkish leaders replacing moderate ones. This shift led to a stronger alignment with the Republican Party.
Douglas Bloomfield, a prominent lobbyist, was forced out in favor of more pro-Republican members. This internal strife raised concerns about AIPAC's bipartisan approach.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope this discussion provided insight into the complexities of the Lebanon War and its impact on U.S. foreign policy.
Be sure to tune in next time on History Unveiled as we continue exploring pivotal historical events. See you next time.